Welcome to the Uncle Hack Podcast, where dudes pretty much just talk dude shit.
Welcome to another episode of the Uncle Hack Podcast. Probably thinking to yourself, how many times is this asshole going to change the setting in this podcast studio? Well, until I'm satisfied, which there will never be a time. Those listening, I changed the podcast room. Why? I don't know, because I'm a lunatic. I got the vaccine. What can I say? I'm out of control. I'm Taliban-anas. I'm running in these streets, blocking hospitals, while your grandma's trying to get a liver transplant because she's an alcoholic for 69 years of her life. And I'm out there with a sign screaming at the ambulance driver, "You're a fucking traitor!" And you're like, dude, I don't give a shit if this woman lives or dies. I don't care. Most of us are all like that. I don't care, right? Is that where we are? It's just like, it's like having your brother and sister, or I guess we're at the age where a lot of you have kids. It's like your kids are fighting and you don't give a shit what. Well, she said that, you got a brother and a sister fighting. The sister's the pro-vaccine because women are dumb. And the brother is anti-vaxxer because, well, men don't trust anything. Oh, yeah, we're going that hot already. We're getting that deep into it already. I got some just things I noticed. I don't care whether you have it or not. I don't give a shit. I think that's the most, or the vast majority of people, is you don't give a shit, right? You don't fucking care if your neighbor has the vaccine or not. You're just like, you don't want the fat bar manager, that dummy, he smokes while he eats chicken strips. Deep fried chicken tenders, chicken fucking, what do you call them? I don't fucking know. Chicken fingers. This guy hacks jets while he eats this shit. He's going to ask you whether or not you have a vaccine passport or a negative PCR test to come in the local tavern to slam pints of draft beer or short glasses with 3 shots of whiskey in it to try and erase your week, And you're like, it's just another added step of stupidity. Like here in Alberta, it's like, I swear a Down syndrome kid with a box of crayons sat down and came up with these fucking rules and just wrote it down as they thought. And old Jay Kenny, that's our governor, so to speak, for the American listeners. Like, get this. How dumb is this? If you work in the service industry, right? You don't have to be vaccinated, but you can serve tables. You can serve tables, but if you want to sit in after as a patron, right? You want to order a Caesar or a fucking Bellini, whatever you're into. I don't know. I don't care. You aren't allowed because you need to present a test or a vaccine, proof of vaccination. What the hell is going on? I give up. I'm giving up. I never really cared from the beginning, but it's just like that. It's just getting dumber and dumber and dumber, I know it's more vaccine talk. That's the hot topic. I know. What am I doing talking about this shit? But it's just funny. It's hilarious at this point. Like it's so smoke and mirrors that you just don't, like, you feel like a fucking idiot everywhere you go. And then you got people arguing who shouldn't be arguing. You know what I mean? Like if you feel like you ran a marathon going up for like a flight of stairs, right? You're like, that was a lot of goddamn work just getting up a flight of stairs. You're out of the question. You're out of the debate. You shouldn't be in it. I'm tired of it. I'm adding to the pile of lunacy by me talking about it more, but this is just my thoughts, right? This is what I think about. These are the conversations that I got to have. It's just over and over. And I'm like, dude, I don't care. Well, they're blocking the hospitals. Good. Good. Apparently, you know what? They're doing a good thing. Quite honestly, if they started blocking the hospitals, that means the nurses and the doctors can have a break. You should be applauding these people. You were smashing pots and pans last year, being like, the frontline workers are real heroes. The frontline workers are the biggest heroes on the planet. Here we are. And now you're like, well, they're overwhelming the hospitals. No, you asshole. They're blocking the hospitals to give the nurses and the doctors a break. Did you ever think of that? Of course you didn't, you selfish prick. Because you've had it easy this whole fucking quote-unquote pandemic. I'm not saying if it's real, it's real. If it's not, it's not. All right? Yeah, it's for you to decide. I don't care. But these people, in your eyes, not mine, I could give a shit. I've already said that nurses are the laborers of the healthcare system, all right? They're like the green hard hat wearing fucking idiots that just think they know everything. First year apprentice, call them that, for all I give a shit. They have it in their head. They got a doctorate degree. They got you went to school. You have a fucking, you've studied science to the point where you can wipe an old man's ass, okay? That's where we're at. You can pull the tubes out, but you can't put them in, okay? Nurses, settle down. You're not finding the cure for all of this, all right? You're wiping the old man's ass that shits himself that has a ventilator in his fucking face. Oh, boy. I'm surprised I haven't gotten in trouble for any of these yet. It's not big enough. I don't think. Nobody takes me serious. Say we start cracking 100,000, 200,000 listens or views on YouTube on this podcast. We're a ways away, but we may get there, right? We may get there. And when we do, I'm very confident we will. Not really, but I'm just saying. There's no point... There's no point being negative, right? There's already enough negativity out there. I'm just saying. Now, back to my point. These fucking deadbeats, you sat in your little apartment, right? Hanging out of the balcony, beating the shit out of your silverware and your pots, or beating the shit out of your pots and pans with fucking silverware, right? Frontline workers. Frontline workers. They are the heroes. You did that. I didn't. You did that. You idiots out there did that. I didn't do it. I didn't care. I want to die. I was hoping I was going to be in the fucking grocery store one day and somebody of a different ethnicity. I'm not going to point fingers. I'm just saying I was hoping when it all started. I don't know who they are. I would never say anything discriminatory towards those people. I'm just saying I was hoping I would be in the vicinity of one of them sneezing, okay? I'm not going to say who. I'll leave it up to your imagination. Right? Me, on the other hand, let's wrap it up. Put a bow on it. I'm too much of a pussy to commit suicide, all right? I'm just going to say that. I was just hoping a certain type of person would have sneezed in my area at the beginning of 2021. Picture wrap. Done. Over. Sayonara, amigo. No more of this. I got to exit a little early. I get the old thanks for coming out, right? But it didn't happen. Clearly. Now I, on the other hand, did not hang out of any windows of my house and beat the shit out of the cookie sheet with a spatula. I didn't do that. while screaming into the neighborhood. Well, like, it's basically like you idiots just have a Twitter account with no followers. You were yelling into the abyss, hoping to, dear God, please somebody hear me do something what I think is doing good. So then I can pat myself on the back and have other people think that I care. I'm not doing it because of I actually give a shit about the nurses and doctors that are actually going through this. I just want the optics of my neighborhood thinking, or the neighborhood to see me through the lens of I am a good person. You know, I am a good person. In college, not so much. I used to date rape women, and now I'm beating the fuck out of the cookie shit with a spatula, praising the healthcare workers, the frontline workers. They're the backbone of this whole pandemic. I did that. So now everything that happened in my past doesn't come back to haunt me because I did this one stupid, I will say stupid action. I annoyed the neighborhood thinking I was a good person, right? And now you want to give shit to the people that are actually giving these doctors and nurses a break. They're blocking the entrances to hospitals, right? They're like, we need to see the numbers up. We need to see the numbers up for us to believe that something's actually going on. And those guys have been working hard. We're going to give them a little break. But no. Not you fucking clowns. Not you fucking clowns that have had to go re-buy a cookie sheet. No, not you. You look at it as these people need to work harder, you know. You need a reason to hang out of your goddamn window at 5 p.m. every day and beat the fuck out of the cookie sheet you got from the dollar store. You need that in your life so that way the neighborhood thinks that you're a good person. Us, on the other hand, I imagine most listeners of this podcast, I think we all swim in the same water. We're like, fuck me, I hope they all die, you know? Like, I touched on it for a second, but it's like, for the parents out there, you understand. It's like your son and your daughter are fighting, and you're like, you don't care what happened, just shut the fuck up. I don't care if you're an anti-vaxxer. I don't care if you're a vaxxer. Shut the fuck up. Block more hospitals. I don't care. Just let me. I don't need a 17-year-old girl who's going to sit my fat fucking ass down in a booth in an Earl's Lounge before I shovel in deep fried French fries and 9 goddamn Coronas into my gullet to be, do you have your papers? Fuck off. Okay? We don't want that. Well, how are we going to know if everybody's vaccinated? Who cares? No one cares. You know, you're like up to here. I'm in my eyebrow. I'm up to my eyebrows in shit. I don't care. Can we agree on that? Can we agree on that? I will say this, however. Through my endeavors, through all the social media platforms, I will say this. I have seen, now hear me out before I say this. No, it just comes from what I see, okay? From what I see. And it's not me putting a line in the sand. I'm just saying there's more good-looking women, better-looking girls out there, right? Oh, great. Here we go. That are anti-vaxxers than pro-vaxxers. I'm just going to say that. I'm just going to put it out there, okay? I'm just putting that out there. I'm just saying I've seen more good-looking women against the vaccine than for it, okay? That's just me. I don't know what you've seen, but I'm just saying every time I see something that's like pro-vaccine, it's always just some fucking pig, you know? Some pig that looks like she loaded up a potato gun of grandpa's loose can of bolts and nuts and nails and all that shit and just shot herself in the face with that potato gun and whatever stuck, okay? I'm just going to say that. And it's always some pig that you'd probably see in a Walmart mid-afternoon in Cookie Monster pajama pants and a Jack Skellington zip-up hoodie from Spencer's. And like their arms have never been past their shoulders, you know, at least since 2015. Like just a mess of a human. And have to walk, like they don't walk, it's more like a shoulder roll and the rest of the weight follows. Like, you know what I mean? You remember Pokemon? Remember when Snorlax would wake up? That's how this person walks. It's just a momentum shift. And if they lose the momentum, it's done. It's over. It's like you need a can of ether in the bitch just to get something firing again, you know? It's pathetic. So I'm just saying that maybe, just maybe, can we not? Can we pipe down? Can we cool it? And the funny thing is like, see, like dudes, we don't listen to, like, I'll be honest, okay? The only reason I knew that someone was pro-vaccine or anti-vax was probably like a hashtag or anything like that because, you know, these apps like TikTok, I will say I do love the app. It just bring the brilliant minds of society are on TikTok, okay? We're watching these things, and if you just love watching morons, this place is perfect for you. It's people watching. It's essentially like people watching in a mall, you know, a very public setting where there's a lot of these fucking orbs of flesh just floating around, pretending like they know shit, right? And here we are. We get it in an app form. And the things that I get on there now, let's just say I'm going to the gulag if this gets to a place where we're starting to round people up. My TikTok algorithm is good. It's all it is just racist humor and Down syndrome kids. How I got there, I don't know, okay? That's a lie. I know how I got there. I'm not gonna out myself right here, right now for you. Time for a little ad read. DangerCatShop.com. Use the promo code podcast69. Get 15% off your order. New fucking tees in stock. Go check them out. Giving her the cats. We got a MILF Slayer shirt. We got Beaver Liquor shirt. We got, and also a retro looking shirt that's actually pretty sick. All on there. Use the code DangerCat or podcast69. Get 15% off your order today. Patreon. That's right. You can support the show. Okay, support the show by becoming a Danger Dong Patreon. Right. You can become a Danger Dong Patreon and support this podcast that you listen to every week. I'm begging you. No, I'm not. But patreon.com/DangerCat69, you will get this episode that you're listening to 48 hours earlier than everybody else. You'll also get an extra episode every week. Titty Tuesday has a cross promo of Danger Kittens and OnlyFans models, so you get a set of cans every Tuesday at 10:30 a.m. A couple sets of cans. That's our way of cross-promoting with sex workers and OnlyFans. And then, then I do a podcast on the Patreon underneath the brand as well. You can become an executive producer today. Like all these fine people that have their names scroll at the end of the YouTube video. Or at the bottom in the description. Yay! Anyways, back to the episode. But we're there, okay? That's where I'm at. The whole pandemic has me there. I'm watching Down syndrome kids make jokes because it's more entertaining than anything else that's being produced. Hollywood's went to shit. Movies have went to shit. YouTube is just dog shit. You know, you got a few things. If you're watching this, you know, you're at the bottom of the barrel of entertainment. You come here for entertainment. Wow. Looks great though with the TV beside me. Hey, for those watching on YouTube, this angle, I feel like the angle is better. We got things are working out a little bit. Got the computer, bigger desk. Not that the desk before was smaller, but we're setting it up. It kind of looks pretty tight in here. I'm not hating it. Now we just got to dress this area up a little more. Get rid of that. Get a few things. I don't know. You know what I mean? Maybe a few sponsors. Wink, wink. If anybody's listening. Fuck. Few bucks wouldn't hurt. Yes. What was I saying? Oh, yeah. Anti-vax, pro-vax shit. But I'm just saying, it's easier to hop on board with the whole anti-vax thing because me as a guy, what are you going to listen to? You know? What are you going to listen to? Nicki Minaj? I'm a fan. I like it when people, it's not even necessarily the message. I like it when people like swim upstream and they're just like, yeah, fuck this. I'm going against these cocksuckers. I don't care. I really enjoy people that are like that. It's entertaining. It's way better. Nicki Minaj comes out and whatever she said. I could give a shit. Not really into like the whole celebrity thing, but that's some good shit right there. That's some good shit. It's putting some people back on their heels. Like a few record labels are probably like, oh, until the sales started fucking skyrocketing because they're like, yeah, you know what? Starships were meant to fly. I'll run that track into the ground just from what Nicki says. But most dudes like us, like the dudes that listen to this, you probably go on TikTok. You don't listen to what these bitches have to say. They're shaking their tits and twerking and shaking their ass and their pussy lips are falling out about volleyball shorts or whatever the fuck you want to call it. Those spandex shorts, you know, you're just like, you're one slip up away of a lip falling out and you're just banking on it. Like you're scanning all areas of the video to see if you get a nip slip, whatever. And it doesn't matter what the message is, but it's always like the anti-vax girls are way hotter than the pro-vaccine girls. The pro-vaccine girls are like sitting in their car screaming, be like, why can't I just serve cocktails to people? Losing their fucking minds. And then like the anti-vax, did I say anti-pro-vax? I'm getting these all fucking confused. The pro-vaccine girls are just yelling into the abyss. Nobody gives a shit. It's always some fat pig yelling in her car. I need a puffer. I have asthma. You know what? Like, why couldn't, you know, like, it's cheap Chinese made shit. I said it. Cheap Chinese made shit. If this was a lab created virus over in Wuhan, it's like everything else produced in China. If this thing was meant to wipe out a good horde of people, it's like everything else. Cheap Chinese die-cast shit, you know? Put a dent in the population, why don't you? Take a risk. Why didn't you go for it? No, of course not. No. It only took out a few 100,000. God. Like, fucking make this thing lethal. What are you doing? You wonder why everybody goes to China to get that cheap shit manufactured is because of this. They can't even get a fucking virus right, you know? Fuck. Grandpa was right the whole time. The Chinese just make cheap shit. Cheap garbage. And this virus is another thing added to the pile of cheap, waste of time shit, waste of money shit. You know, you tried. I will say you tried. I love the effort. I do love the effort. I'm glad you put your best foot forward to take a good chunk out of the world. If it was really like a fat person and an old person remover, I'm all for it. Try again. Get something else in the burner. Get something else going here. Let's see what we can produce. I'm all for it. I'm open ears, okay? Where's, what are those angel investors? Where are they at? Throw some fucking money at this shit. Let's go. I'm not fat enough to care, you know? If I was fat, enough to care, I'd be, hey, whoa, hey. I like the fact that this virus was Chinese made because it was cheap. You know, if the Germans got a hold of building their own virus, different story. Eesh. Things could get a little out of hand, you know? I'm just saying, like, something happened over there a little while back that we all love to refer to whenever something somewhat evil pops up. We always go back to those times, bring it up and try and make some stretch of a comparison of what's really going on over there out in the world. Compare it to some short guy with big ideas. Just going to put that out there. Some short little fella with giant ideas. And now all of a sudden we make comparisons to this guy. Oh. What's going on here? Okay. Oh, this is beautiful. Let me bring this up. So, a guy from my hometown, Rockstar. Let's see if we can you see those? For those, he's a bar owner in my hometown of Tabor, Alberta. Dan Remford is running for town council. I just got this picture a little while ago, but it's being sent to me quite a bit now. His name is Dan Remford. In his photo that he's putting on social media is him in a Danger Cat shirt, the Canadian piss tank one to be correct. And this might be the first politician that I'm full on board with. The guy's a wicked dude. He's I've known him for quite some time, and he's amazing. He's a stand-up guy. But to see somebody, and he's making a jump. You know, he's gonna put politics on their ass. Ironically enough, I'm wearing the same T-shirt today, which you can get at dangercatshop.com. But this young man, we'll get back to, maybe this is more fun. We got the fan question coming up here in about, 10 minutes? And he sends me this, and he goes, he's trying to be polite, which I like. He's like, hey, guy from your local town wearing one of your shirts, sends a photo, says he's going to be doing something on running for town council. And what do you think? I'm not saying he's just dancing around it. I like the fact that he was dancing around it because most people are like, hey, post this. And it's the dumbest shit you've ever seen. It's like one of their buddies is, I don't know, dancing in the mall. I don't find any of this entertaining. Look at this guy dancing. Look at my buddy dancing. Isn't that funny? Isn't that Danger Cat? Look at him dancing. Isn't it funny? You want to see my friend dance? You want to see my friend jump off a picnic table? No, I don't. I want to see him jump off a bridge. And the biggest one closest to you. And if it isn't a swan dive to the skull, sharp rocks in a shallow river, I don't want to see it at all. You think over the course of 4 years, actually you have 4-year anniversary of Danger Cats. Why didn't I bring that up in the beginning? 4 years of this shit. 4 years. The old boy has been doing this. Maybe a little longer. It has been a little longer, but 4 years is when we started the clothing line and started to take this serious. And here we are today. Living her, giving her, having a fucking hell of a time doing it, 4 years, that's a long time to be committed to something. And shit seems to be growing. I'm still having fun doing it. Getting out there, doing more stand-up. I feel like my humor is cultivating itself. I'm slowly getting better, I find. I don't know. There's got to be some sort of correlation because the podcast seems to be growing, so I can't fault that. Or I guess taking that into consideration. Who knows? Maybe people just love a good listening and watching a good old-fashioned tire fire. I do. I love me a good public meltdown. That should be a segment in this podcast. Is public meltdowns, or we'll throw something in there. We'll throw something in there, and we'll together. I don't know. I'm gonna slowly start adding new segments into the show, making it more fun, making the podcast more fun, like the blocking of the hospitals. That's fun for everybody, right? It's very kind of them to think that the nurses and the doctors needed a break. You don't see the fucking assholes hanging out of their balconies beating the shit out of pots and pans doing that. You don't, because they're lazy. They're lazy. They just want the feel good of neighbors noticing them doing something remotely nice. It's not that great. Like, you're not being like, wow, I can't believe you're doing that for nurses and doctors. Wow, holy shit. It didn't impress anybody, right? It didn't impress anybody. It's like it's like online activism, Online activism. And I know you can come at me. I was one of the black square guys. I posted a black square. Why? I don't know. I didn't think it fully through. I just did it. Like a fucking idiot. Exactly like the people that are beating the shit out of the fucking cookie sheet for frontline workers, though. That's a next step, but in the same category of online activism, sitting in your basement pretending to care about things while making a TikTok, you're twerking and making a TikTok about Palestine, about how we need to free Palestine. For a minute there, I thought we were going to see a Fifth Reich. Holy shit. People were not too fond of the curly-haired, So, yeah, we'll stop there. That's just going to get me in trouble. Next thing you know, I'm going to be some bloggers going to get a hold of this and we'll go. Oh, that'll be a day. That'll be a good day of when some idiot decides to try and take me down. Oh, yeah, but enough of that. Let's switch over to the fan question. Let's switch over to the fan question. I feel like we got a good one. We did. I feel. See, this is why you should have everything prepared and not talk out of your ass while finding all this shit. Where is it now? I'll have it in a second. Is it this one? No, this one was fucking dumb. Here it is. All right, here we go. Fan question. The fun part of this podcast. We're getting more and more, I must say. It's really fun. Sorry if we don't get to yours. We do one a week. I think it's a good time. It's a good time. Maybe I'll get more prepared in the future and have it on the screen. Wouldn't that be fun? Wouldn't that be fun? All right. Hey, Uncle, loving the podcast. Have a question for you. Got a great old lady, but that lets me have my freedoms when me and the boys want to head over to the strip club for a good night of drinking and whatnot. She always ends up coming with some of her friends the same nights and sits with them. Not sure if she's trying to keep an eye on me or what. Also, not sure if this is a dumb question or something I should confront her about. Let me know your thoughts coming from small town Ontario, Anonymous. Okay. When me and the boys want to head over to the strip night for a good night of drinking and whatnot, she always ends up coming to the strip club with some of her friends the same night and sits with them. Not sure if she's trying. That's her. To me, this is her, that is, it's monitoring. It is. It's a slick way for her to go under the guise like, oh, the girls asked me to come out. The girls wanted to go there. This is really something not worth confronting her about, but this leads to bigger things. I think this leads to, because you're not saying nothing and not addressing it and being like, why is it Are you just going out because you want to? What's going on here? But it seems like every time my face shows up somewhere, like the Peeler Bar, your face shows up. Not that there's nothing wrong with it, right? There's nothing wrong with it, but the moment that I say I'm going there, you have to be there as well. Is there some insecurities there? Because then that means that there's insecurities more than likely elsewhere. Not saying that there is, more than likely elsewhere. And she has it in her head, like, here's what strip clubs are for us as gentlemen, okay? This is like, because everybody, why would you want to go to the titty bar and get horny with your friends? You're not necessarily going there to get horny, okay? Is it great getting a fucking boner? Yeah, it is. If you like, when you're like, oh fuck yeah, it's great. It's fucking great. But for me, as a 30-year-old man, okay, what the Peeler Bar is for me is I get the club setting. There's music. There's loudness to it. I got a club vibe, right? Then on top of it, the dancers on stage is a form of entertainment. Much better entertainment than going to some packed out, shitty fucking bar. I shouldn't say bar because that's classifying. But you go to some bars that get packed out, right? Small town bars don't count in this particular situation because when the small town guys come to the big city, right? What do? You always start your night out at the Peeler Bar. Why? Why do we do that? Because we're fucking men and we like good entertainment. So you go to the titty bar. It's great entertainment. I could sit there all night. I have a blast. You got a nice comfy fucking chair. Great entertainment in front of you. The server is on. Like they're slinging drinks. Have you noticed that in a Peeler Bar, the service there is much better than everywhere else? That's because they hire fucking professionals. Not the retarded girl that's taking psychology down at the university to come sling drinks, okay? No, these girls are trained professionals in there. I don't know. I'm just fucking around. But there is a level of entertainment that you get sitting at a Peeler Bar, right? So why women think, it's like, why you think you're in there trying to, no stripper's going home with you. Not very often. Does the miraculous move of taking a swing at the plate of trying getting the stripper to go home with you go your way? It just doesn't happen, okay? You have a better chance of fucking a nurse than you ever will a peeler, okay? Like when you're out and about with the lads and you and some girl's like, oh, I'm a nurse. If your head doesn't go, oh, perfect, I'm getting anal tonight from a stranger, then you obviously haven't been out much, okay? If your noodle right away doesn't trigger being like, as soon as you hear I'm a nurse or anything in healthcare, you know damn well you're getting some sniz from a stranger. Why is it like that? Again, women are dumb. But the reason us gentlemen go to the Peeler Bar is because it's perfect. You get the entertainment. You get to have fun with your buds. You get to look at tits. It's everything. You know what you do in the garage too? You want to know what you do in the garage? Every now and then, you're probably going to fucking peer off into the wall. And what's on the wall in the garage? Usually some fucking calendars of giant tits. Some girl's got her ass hanging out on the Molson Canadian poster, and you take a gander at that. It's no different than the Peeler Bar. And you get some entertainment out of it. So why listen, fellas, would you be pissed if your old lady went to like the Thunder Down Under with all them guys swinging their ropes around? I would hope not. Why would you care? Who gives a fuck? You want to do the same thing. You want to You want to see some young trim spread 'em, front row twerking, do whatever it is, shaking their titties, getting some excitement in the air. This is entertainment for the lads. Women love it too. Female strippers are much better than male strippers, but tomato, tomato, right? So I've went off rails. But yeah, I don't know. That seems like there's some insecurities lying with your old lady. She doesn't know that you're just going there for a good time. You don't fucking care. And I'm going to guess you're at a small town peeler bar, so you're not getting the big city's finest coming out there every now and then, because then, the way the stripping industry works here, some of them travel and some of them are house girls. Some of the ones that travel or the rookies that are just starting out usually get sent to these shitholes. So you're not getting the creme de la creme. You're not getting the creme de la creme. No, they're in the cities. They actually have a curated show. They have a fucking great performance on stage you want to watch, you know? They're not sending their best talent to fucking, I don't know, Melville, Saskatchewan, you know? Maybe a stag, because stags pay, but no. But I feel like your old lady, if she's popping up every single time that you go there, she's definitely coming out to keep an eye on you. She wants to see how wild, if you're getting out of control, or if you're getting lap dances, or if you're trying to feel one of them up, whatever it may be. Or maybe it's the complete opposite. She's wanting you to do that. No, she wouldn't drag her friends out. Never mind. That's a horrible road to go down. I mean, like, to try and cuck herself in front of her friends. I don't think any woman would really do that. Any guy either. Maybe a weird one, but the same night. And trying to keep me if she's trying to keep, but I think, yeah, you need to confront this, because it seems like these are the building blocks to bigger blowouts. This is where bigger issues start coming about, you know. Address it, nip it in the bud, get it fucking out in the open. Like, what is your issue? And she said, I don't have an issue. Be like, no, you need to tell me right now there's an issue, because every time I go out, you suddenly show up. And don't do it in a way where you're being a condescending prick. Just ask her, talk to her, and bring it up to a way, like, you know, don't be a bitch about it either. Don't be a fucking punk and I don't know what you're talking about. You do know what I'm talking about. You got to be a stern, direct, without being a full-blown cunt. Because if you're being a full-blown cunt, then it just seems like they can go behind, like they'll pull that typical, well, I don't want to talk to you if you're mean. You know what I mean? You're going to get that. Every guy's been there, right? You're just like, you've had enough. Dudes can take a lot. Like, something like this probably just annoys you a little bit. Where if you did this to her, it might be a bigger issue than what you anticipate this to be to you right now, currently, right? But if you came at her with an attitude and you're fucking jacked up and you're like, what the fuck is your deal? Why is it every time I'm out, that's how entertaining this show is. I'm yawning. You suddenly show up and you got to be Mrs. fucking Prance around to address that you're in the room as well. Why is that? What's the issue here? Why are we in the same room all the time? You know, I left the house to get away from you, and now you're out trying to monitor what I'm up to. Is that what you're doing? No, it seems like it. I would never do that. Yes, you would. Yes, you would. Maybe you're a good guy. Maybe something's happened in the past, or there's some rumors going around or something that you're a piece of shit, and this is all she needs to justify her actions by following you around town. So by asking and bringing it up and talking to her about it, like I said, don't be a fucking dickhead about it. Don't be a complete cunt about it, because that's where you're going to run into all of your issues. Is the moment that you want to be an asshole, then the fucking real problems start coming out, and she can use this against you. It's mental warfare, my friend. Bring it up to her. Be like, why is it that every time that I go to the peelers. All right, I get it. Maybe you're insecure, maybe you're not. You got to be very self-aware in this situation too. You got to be very self-aware. That's an interesting one. Because I feel like this is something that could have been, it could have been blown out of proportion if you, I guess it hasn't happened yet, but I do say, bring it up, because there might be an underlying issue. It might not be with you. It could be an ex. It could be, a suspicion because one of her dumb friends, you know how this goes. She could have had a fucking dream, That's what I don't get. Some of this shit comes from a made-up place in their brain that happens while they're sleeping, right? The chemicals in her brain are creating this fucking dream, and somehow you cheated on her in her dream, and it happened in real life, or somehow, well, it's just my intuition, And now in her head, she feels like she's got to be Inspector fucking Gadget on everything that you do. But this is almost like a game for women sometimes. Because dudes, we don't really care. Yeah, these little boys are running around and be like, women are the devil, they cheat on me. No, it's because you're a pussy, okay? You're a fucking pussy. And she's getting her back blown out by somebody who actually fucking fuck her like an animal, like a beast. You know what I mean? So then when you're being a dude and you're doing dude shit like going to the peeler bar, going to the bar, going and having fun with your buddies, getting a little too drunk, and she has a dream about, I don't know, maybe you were at the peeler bar and you got a lap dance and somehow she views that as cheating on you, and some couples do, some couples don't. I don't know what your relationship is, and revert to the beginning of this episode and what? That's right, I don't care. Shit. But that's what it could be. There's a laundry list of fucking possibilities that this could be. Without you asking, you'll never fucking know. And it'll just annoy you, quite honestly, because you're going to show up there again, and who's going to walk through the door? Old Prissy Pants, because she feels the need to watch over you like some guardian fucking angel. Meanwhile, you're a grown-ass man. Yes, you're a grown-ass dude, I should say. You got responsibilities. You get them done, right? You get them done. You also like to let loose and let that childlike behavior come out on the weekends, or maybe a day off during the week. Whatever your schedule is, and you want to blow off some steam. The last thing you need is the hall monitor watching you trying to tiptoe out and skip class. I don't know if you should do that. Fuck off. Fuck off, right? So yes, I would bring it up. Be stern and direct without being a fucking prick, and be like, why the fuck is this happening? Is there something in your head? Did you dream that I was cheating on you? Because this seems to be a fucking issue. Every guy has went through that. I don't care who you are. At some point in your life, you will deal with the conversation of your girlfriend, wife, or mistress that you are cheating on her in a dream she had. You cheated on me in a dream I had. I don't care. I'm going to cheat on you in real life if you keep this up. If I got to keep talking about dreams you had of me cheating on you, I'm going to cheat on you in real life. Do you understand? No one cares about your dreams but you, right? Actually, other girls like talking to girls about dreams. Why? I don't know. I don't even remember the last dream I had. That's a 30-second conversation between dudes, right? Dude, I had the wildest dream last night that Jennifer Lopez sucked me off while I was in a rocket ship with Jeff Bezos shooting to the fucking moon so we could get the cheese off there and come back and make the best pizza the world's ever tasted. That's fucking awesome. Yeah, right? Too bad it wasn't real. I know. Anyways, what are you up to this weekend? That's it. Oh my God, so last night, do you think like your dream means something? Like more than that? Do you think he's actually cheating on you? This is now the third time you dreamed about this? The questions start going. It's a 25, 30-minute conversation about the dream she had. Nobody gives a fuck, you know? Nobody cares. I don't want to sit there and talk about fucking dreams. I hate, like, I don't... you know what I mean? Like, that's the frustration. And it might even be something as stupid as that. Could you imagine that? This whole time you're like, Jesus Christ, why is she following me? And she had a dream that you cheated on her with one of the strippers and then you ran off. So now she's being a hall monitor to see if the dream is actually going to come true. Or to see your behavior of when she shows up. Like, is he actually cheating on me? And meanwhile, during all this, you're just like, whatever. You're sitting there having drinks and just looking at a different set of tits. You're not even like begging to go see them up close and personal and wanting a lap dance or any of that. You're just there. You're just taking a gander and going back to conversation. It's nice to be around. It's beautiful to be around. I love strip clubs. I will forever love strip clubs, okay? I like the environment. I like the entertainment that's on stage. I like the fact that for $40, I can go back and get a sniff, you know? I can get a sniff. That's all I need. Lap dances are great. It's the best form of therapy. That's dudes' therapy. Women are like, why don't men get therapy? We do. You just don't like our methods of therapy. That's all. Our method of therapy is literally, you know, we go and have a few too many drinks and we confide to a stripper. I don't want to sit in a fucking leather chair with some dickhead that's going to be like, oh, how does that make you feel? All I need to do to get it off my chest is to see another woman's chest, right? And I'll talk about how fucking dog shit my home life is, and I'm good the next day. I'd be a liar if I haven't sat in a lap dance room and just like aired my problems. And this girl's like, I don't give a shit. He's giving me $40 to just dance. I just got my titties out. How's your day? Awful. Oh, how come? That's it. They don't care. We just need an ear to rattle around in, you know, of a female, but you know, you got a vulnerable woman right there standing naked in front of you and you want to talk about your problem. That's therapy to us, okay? So when women are like, oh, you need therapy. No, I just need to go air my problems and then I'm good. It mellows me out. I don't need to sit there and dig through every fucking piece of my childhood. I don't care, right? You don't want to look in the past. This went completely sideways, but this is where we're at. That's why some dudes go to a tit bar. Because the girls in there are being paid to be nice. Same reason when you go to a therapist, they're being paid to tell you what you want to hear and dig deep. You know, maybe this is your problem. Did you think that maybe because your parents were split up, you're a little fucked up? Yeah, of course. Of course that's the reason. I didn't need some asshole at $100 an hour for $100 an hour. I can have a set of cans and I can just air my issues out into the abyss. It's like tweeting to nobody. Like I was saying, you're just tweeting to nobody. This girl don't care. She's going to go make fun of you in the back about your issues and your problems at home. And they're going to be like, glad I don't have that. I'm glad I'm not going home to that. You know? That guy sounds miserable. All he needs is a blowjob and he'd be fine. If his woman just got down and sucked him off, he'd be happier than a pig in shit. But no, she's waking up and dreaming that he's cheating on her. So he's got to come down here, stare at my cans and tell me about all the fucking problems happening at home. That's a tit bar right there. And then when you want to go back downstairs and watch the entertainment and watch it unfold, so that's what's going on there. So I don't know what's going on with you and your old lady to get back to this question. But I would address it. Be like, listen, quit fucking following me. I need to get away from you sometimes. And sure, you're a great woman. I love you to death. But quit fucking following me. I don't need to be around you every day, every minute. You know, I don't want to sit in awkward silence while you watch The Housewives and I scroll fucking Twitter seeing what sports updates are happening. And then you get mad at me because I won't watch this garbage reality television. You know? We've all been through it. Well, why don't you want to watch my show with you? Because, listen, here's my, to answer your question, bring it up. We're going to bring this up. Don't be an asshole. Get to the bottom of it and work backwards. Why is it like this? And then see what her issue is. Don't get defensive. It doesn't do anything. I'm going to write this down so I don't forget. Yeah. Maybe you come to me for, I don't know. I'm not really, I'm not a therapist or anything, but I just deal with shit a different way than most people. I don't like to fuck around. So if there's an issue, and you know what? I'm not for this. No, I don't know. I don't have a problem. Okay. If you don't have a problem, then I suggest you shape up your attitude is usually my suggestion, you know? I'm not going to sit here and we're not going to tiptoe around this. Either A, bring up what the problem is, or if you're going to be like, oh, it's okay, I don't want to talk about it. All right, drop it. Don't come to me in 25 minutes then being a cunt. Because I'm going to sit here and I'm going to ask you 2 times, tops, is there an issue? No. Are you sure there is not an issue? Because if there is one, you should definitely bring it up right now in this instance so me and you can discuss it. Like fucking adults, instead of acting like 2 stupid fucking teenagers where you're following me around going to an establishment with me and my buddies, and you secretly just show up out of fucking nowhere with your friends, and now we're sitting awkwardly across the bar looking at one another waving. And what, like, it's already awkward that, like, hey, your wife's here. What? Ugh. That's every guy. Oh, fuck. Not that we were going to do anything stupid. It's just, it's always fun being reminded about shit you did the next day. That's always fun, isn't it? Being like, oh, did you really need to have 10 beers? Yes, I did. If you wouldn't have shown up, I would have had 5 and came home half snapped. You get half snapped off 5 beers? You knew what I meant. I could have said 20 beers. I would have drank 20 beers. I would have drank 10 instead. How's that? But no, you decided to show up, and now I'm going to get fucking greased. That's how we get back. But yeah, subtly bring that up. To close out the show, here, I thought of this the other night. So here's what I think. So, gentlemen, you know how we watch sports, or maybe you watch racing, whatever it is. And usually, if you watch something, you're obviously a fan of the sport, fan of whatever that guy's bull riding. I don't give a shit what it is. Again, a lot of zero fucks in this episode. Have we noticed that, gentlemen? Have we noticed that? But I was laughing to myself because I wasn't watching Housewives, you know, the Real Housewives of LA with my girlfriend. I was on the phone looking at like sports scores, Twitter, who's arguing, comedian shit. I don't know, stuff that actually interests me. And she goes, oh, you don't want to watch the show? No. Well, why wouldn't I watch the show? I was going to try a fucking show. It's like, you know what? Know what this is? This is sports for you. What do you mean? I said, think about it. I like watching football or any type of sports highlights, right? And then I like to, you know, sometimes go and play those sports. Not to the ability of like what I'm viewing on television, obviously, but I like to go out and try beer league hockey. I'll try and have a cool goal or a sick fucking goal, good dangle, I'll go throw a pigskin around and everybody wants a sweet catch. You're playing softball, whatever it is. You try and emulate what you see on TV. So the sports to me is like housewives to you. You want to argue. You want to bring this shit up. You want to fucking fight like these ass clowns up here, but they're doing it in a much more lavish way. They got designer clothing hanging off their tits. And you want to do it while we got fucking Walmart brand sweatpants on. It's a huge difference, And that's the similarities between what you watch and I watch is we both want that, I'd love to be a professional athlete and you'd like to be a professional cunt. But here we are having to do both things half-assed, right? We got to do it half-assed to what the pros are actually doing it. So meanwhile, we just have to sit back and view it. So this right now is like you watching the Stanley Cup final. It was a season finale. So this is you watching the season finale, and all these fucking wenches are at one another. Burn her at the stake. She tweeted about my fucking augmentation or whatever the fuck it's called. She said my dress wasn't very nice when we had a barbecue one night. And these women are just back and forth, yelling, screaming at one another. Meanwhile, there's some twink in the middle of them. I don't remember his name. And trying to provoke it a little more, stoke the fire. Which I applaud that guy's job. That'd be a lot of fun. Sitting and listening to a bunch of women arguing and fighting with one another. So basically, like I said, it's like we're watching the Super Bowl right now. We're watching the Super Bowl of women arguing, and now you want to bring up that I don't want to watch women argue. You want to do this. Now you want to argue with me because you're watching the pros do it, so now you want to go and play a little beer league is what's going on here, right? Am I picking up what you're putting down? Do I have an understanding of how your noodle works? Because that seems to be what's going on here, all right? The fucking housewives are sports highlights for psychotic bitches. That's all this is. It's like us retarded guys wanting to go and play sports in our spare time and try and be good at them. Going to play beer league. Hopefully I get a hat trick. Nobody gives a shit when the regular couple's arguing and fighting in public. But if the housewives are doing it and they put it on television, these fucking bitches will sit down and watch this all day, Same reason I'm not going to sit down and watch beer league hockey in my spare time. I don't blame them one bit. Okay? But let's not argue and pretend like we're them. They make transactions, one single purchase, and it's worth probably about yours and I's total income for that year, okay? We're not in the same league. They're good at what they do. That's why they have a television show of crazy bitches arguing and fighting, okay? And that's why me and you got to wake up and go to work. So I don't want to argue like these fucking psychopaths, okay? The same reason you don't want to watch me play shitty sports. So let's call it a wash, all right? I'm going to scroll on the phone and you watch the psychos yell at one another. How does that sound? Does that sound good? Perfect. Moving on. Fucking insanity. Anyways, thanks for listening to or watching another episode of the Uncle Hack Podcast. Quick reminder, the Patreon has a extra episode waiting for you, all right? Or maybe you're listening to this on the Tuesday and you got the early version. But maybe you did, maybe you didn't. I don't fucking know. And what's today's theme? That's right. I don't care. But anyways, thank you again for tuning in to another episode of the Uncle Hack Podcast. Please leave a review if you're listening to this on iTunes. And I don't know. I don't know if Spotify has reviews, but if they do, I'll try and see if I can read some off of there. Other than that, see you next week.